Hi guys, welcome to the first tutorial of Java series. In this tutorial I'm going to show you what softwares are needed to be downloaded and installed in order to run and compile Java codes. Then I'm going to explain you what is programming and why we are using Java. Lastly, we will go through some of the basic codes of Java. So first of all, let me introduce you myself. My name is Muhammad Afif and I am a computer science student at university. I have decided to create these short videos on Java so it will benefit others and it will also benefit myself to gain more knowledge about Java. So without wasting any time, let's start with the tutorial. So at first, in order to run and compile Java codes in your computer, you must have to download a Java development kit. I am leaving the link in the description so you can download Java development kit according to your operating system. I have downloaded the Windows version because I am using Windows. After downloading and installing the Java development kit, you have to download an editor in order to write a Java codes. So there are many editors you can download, but I will prefer IntelliJ IDEA because this is a very fast and efficient way to write a Java code, and it is being used by most of the developers now. So download the community version because it is free. After downloading and installing the community version, you will be able to write and run Java codes in your system. So now what is programming? Programming is a way of communication between human and a software and hardware. So without programs, a computer is an empty machine. Computers do not understand human languages. So you need to use computer language to communicate with them. Programs are written using programming languages. So there are three types of languages. First one is a machine language. For humans, it is difficult to understand and read machine language because it is in binary. But for our computers, it is very easy to read and understand the binary language because that's their primary language. Then we have an assembly language, which is also kind of difficult for humans to understand assembly language. Then lastly, we have a high level language. The high level language are English-like and easy to learn and program for humans. There are popular high level languages such as C++, C Sharp, Java, Python, and in this tutorial we are using Java. So a program written in high level language is called a source code. Because a computer cannot understand a source code must be translated into a machine code for execution. The translation can be done using another programming tool called an interpreter or compiler. An interpreter reads one statement from the source code, translates it to the machine code or virtual machine code, and then executes it right away. A compiler translates the entire source code into a machine code file. The machine code file is then executed. So, when we run a program in high level language, basically the compiler translates it to binary so our computer can understand our command. This is how high level language works. Then why we are using Java? Java is the world's most widely used computer programming language, and in use today are more than a billion general purpose computers and billion Java enabled cell phones, smartphone, handheld devices are still running Java codes. And Java can be used to develop and software, desktop software, mobile software, and many other kinds of softwares. Java is simple, object-oriented, secure, portable, dynamic, and in order to run Java in your computer, you must have to download Java Development Kit as I have explained earlier. And then you need an editor, and the editor I will prefer IntelliJ as I have explained earlier. Now as you can see on the screen, a simple Java program consists of 3 lines of code only. The first line is basically a class. A class name must start with a capital letter. Then we have a method. The syntax is must and is a very important syntax. If anything goes wrong in this part, the program will not execute. And the third line of code is a code that is needed to be executed in the program when we click on run. So this is just a simple program that consists of 3 lines of code. So now we are going to write this in an editor. First of all, create a new project. Click on next. Click on next, and you can name this anything you want. I will name it as tutorial 1. And now open the first branch. Right click on the sources. Now create new Java class file. Now I will name this class as first.java. Now as you can see, by default they have given me public class first. By default I have a class name. Now I have to create a main method that is public static void main string args and the block of. So the first 2 lines are the compulsory in every program you are going to run from now on, because without these first 2 lines the program will not execute. These syntax are necessary to run any code in Java. Now we will write our first code inside the parentheses, inside both of these parentheses. Now first thing, I will write a simple code that is just printing the output, a simple output, system.out.print. Now this, I want to print hello world. For now that's it. Now we are going to click on run. It will execute this line of code, and the output is hello world. So what we have done here, that we just simply printed a sentence hello world, and this is how we print a statement in Java. Java is a case sensitive and also a syntax sensitive, so you must be careful about writing a code in Java. So now we are going to execute one more line of code, that is system.out.print ln, and here I'm going to say Java. That's it. And now I'm going to click on run. As you can see now, after the execution of these 2 lines, we have now 2 outputs. The first one is for the first line of code, and the second one is for the second line of code. So this is how we are able to print out our 2 lines of code in Java. This is the output of what we have wrote in Java. Now let's get back to the slides. The anatomy of a Java program: we have a class name, main method, statement, statement terminator, reserved word, comments, and blocks. So every Java program must have at least one class. That is the first line of this code is a class. Every class has a name, and the class name must start with a capital alphabet. Then we have a second line, that is main method. In order to run a class, the class must contain a method named main. The program is executed from the main method. Then we have a statement, that is a third line of code. A statement represents an action or a sequence of actions. The statement system.out.print is a statement to display the greeting. Now the statement terminator. Every statement in Java ends with a semicolon. As I have said that Java is a case sensitive, and since also it has a syntax that we have to follow. In most of the statement, in many statements, it must end with the semicolon. Then in Java there are reserved words. Reserved words or keywords are words that have a specific meaning to the compiler and cannot be used for other purposes in the program. For example, when the compiler sees the word class, it understands the word after class is the name for the class. Keywords are always spelled with all lowercase letters. As you can see, these are the reserved words in Java. A pair of braces in a program forms a block that groups components of a program. As you can see, the class has a parenthesis opens here, and the main method parenthesis open from the main method, and both are closes likewise. In the middle of these parentheses, we have a statement for execution. These are some special symbols that you must remember whenever it will help you to write a code. Now we can give our program some comments in order to remember or to explain other programmer about our program. For example, I can write a comment here. I will write here something like first execution. This part will not execute during the compilation because I have mentioned this is a command. The command means this is just for the explanation or for the understanding for a person who is dealing with the codes. For example, if my friend is using this laptop, he will understand what is happening here because of this command, but this will not execute during the runtime. As you can see, if I run this program again, after building, you see there is only two statements, but not this one because this is just a command for human readable. Naming conventions, you have to be careful whenever you choose a name for your class, or mostly class. Then proper indentation and spacing, block styles. And that's all for today. I hope you understand some of the basic of Java, and in the next lecture I will try my best to explain more about Java, and I will try to go more practical. And for now I will leave these slides in the descriptions so you can download and go through again all this explanation. So thank you so much for watching the first tutorial, and I hope to see you again in the next one. Goodbye. Peace out.